case? Did you
Oh,
already have a custody case?
I'm not quite sure what you're speaking of.
Okay, all right. So, what did you need help with?
Okay, you said there was a order. I was called about, I don't know where you got that information because I called about a
Uh,
protection order.
okay. Do you have a copy of the protection order or any documents that you were served with or that were filed into the court?
I'm not quite sure because I came in here to get assistance with getting a protection order.
Oh, with getting a protection
Yeah,
order.
what
Okay, so
information?
nothing has been filed or anything
Yeah,
like
and
that.
then what order are you speaking of with my daughter?
Okay, well, we had you down for a custody appointment regarding custody.
That's odd. Because I called and I spoke with someone about getting a protection order.
A
So how did
protection
you
order.
get a custody? But I have both of
Okay.
those things going on.
Okay, all right. Then maybe they
I just
wrote
have strange
the.
things going on.
Okay, yeah. Then maybe they wrote the wrong thing on the description. Okay, so you're wanting to get a protection order against
And
who?
yeah, and then the information on the custody is fine too, those two. I have a lot going
Okay.
on, as I informed you earlier.
Okay, and what's the situation? What are you needing help with?
Well, I have multiple false arrests. I believe my abuser has enlisted the police department to, falsely arrest me, do all kinds of things, cyberbullying. My child custody rights were taken away out of corruption. I believe he's behind it.
Okay, and
Um,
what were the arrests for? What were the charges?
the arrest, a lot of them were criminal trespass, just
Okay.
schemes and detain me out of corruption.
Okay, criminal trespass. Okay, and how many arrests have happened in the past 2 years?
How many arrests?
Yeah.
Since I think I've lost count. I would say maybe 8 or 9.
Okay, 8 or 9 times. Okay, and when you say criminal trespass, you were trespassing on other people's property?
At public places, they said I criminal trespass at a domestic violence support group. They said I criminal trespass at the Texas Rangers for trying to report abuse.
Okay.
They tried to give me a criminal trespass at the Northern District Court because I had a lawsuit.
Okay.
They gave me a criminal trespass at the FBI because I went to go report him at the FBI.
Okay, all right. And you said you think he's behind this. Do you have evidence that he could be behind this, or?
Well, I have the evidence of the multiple false arrests, and police are not denying it. They're denying investigation for 60-something reports.
Okay.
So I can't obtain any evidence because they keep covering for it.
Okay.
They won't even allow me to get anything in his name. Right. I tried to get a protection order prior at the family court. Frank Crowley, they made me leave pushing and shoving. They lost 2 or 3 protection orders. 2, and then they said family place claim that they sent them 1, and then they lost that. I went to the George Allen, tried to do a protection order. Police removed me there.
Okay, so you've attempted to do the protection order like 2 or 3 times already, and they just kind of brush it off, or they lose it. Okay. All right. And what's the protection order for? Like, do you have domestic violence reports against him, or has he been abusive, harassment, anything like that?
Well, I'm kind of. What do you think that I've been gang stalked as well, and then the false arrest is that. Can I get protected that way if I think he's behind it and they'll deny me law enforcement?
It depends if you have evidence that he is behind it. If you have like concrete evidence, then you could potentially, request a protective order, or you could just go to the Dallas County, criminal department, and you could just say, hey, I have to make a claim against this person, or I want to open up an investigation.
They're denying it. They won't do an investigation for 60-something reports. They threatened to take me. I believe he's behind financial abuse. My bank wouldn't give me funds. I had identity theft. I even had food stamps stolen when I was trying to get, all kinds of crazy things. And they're denying investigation for 60-some reports. I went to Dangerfield, tried to report something was amiss with my card. They detained me there. I was detained in Grand Prairie trying to get into a domestic violence place and speak with a victim's advocate. Police removed and interrupted me there. I went to VIP. Police interrupted that and had me leave Victims Intervention Program Parkland. So I think that it's kind of unusual for police to interrupt someone to get an investigation and get justice to get out of the abuse. Why
Okay.
would the police interrupt me trying to get advocacy and support for this
Or
person? I think
trying
it's
to
talking.
report him.
Right.
Okay. Do you have a copy of any of your arrest reports to see what
No.
comments they had?
No, they want. I tried to get records. They keep denying me records.
Okay.
They've been doing it for years.
So we can probably look it up if you were arrested in Dallas County. What like time frame were you arrested in?
It started the harassment and the arrest in Dallas that started 2019.
Okay.
They arrested me for trying to do a complaint on DART.
Okay.
Well, the reason why I did the complaint is because they would routinely leave me multiple DART drivers, and I kept reporting it, but police would cover for it, and supervisors and ignore it.
Okay.
So this particular day, I was trying to catch the bus. They would do is they would leave me at bus stops alone. So I tried to catch the bus in public places where there was more than one person.
Right.
So then after I started doing that, they started closing the door when they got to me. They let the other people on and then close it, slam it when it got to me.
Okay.
Well, this particular time they did it and I was hitting on the door, so he would open it like he was pretending like he couldn't see me. So I started hitting on the door and I was leaning up against it. He drove off. And by me leaning on the door, I lost my footing and almost fell. But the way I fell, I almost would have fell up under the bus.
Okay.
So if that bus potentially could have ran me over. So when I realized that it was dangerous and these games that the DART drivers were playing, I realized that I needed to do something because I could have been killed. I realized that was dangerous, so I tried to keep my balance so I wouldn't fall up under the bus.
Okay.
So anyway, I went to DART and they prevented me from doing the complaint to Cedric Bivens and arrested me out of corruption. They took me to jail, put me in isolation, mistreated me in jail, denied me my right to go to court. They said that I couldn't stand trial because I was mentally ill and all kinds of things. And it was on camera footage that I was trying to do the complaint. The DA wouldn't pick it up, Internal Affairs, they all ignored it. Okay. And then they eventually dismissed it. When I had these multiple false arrests, they denied me my right to go to court. They even denied me my right to go to court with the corruption behind my daughter.
Okay.
She witnessed a false arrest in 2018.
Okay, and how old is your daughter?
She's 12 now.
She's 12. Okay. All right. So the first arrest was in 2019 or 2018?
The arrest out of Itasca was 2018.
Oh, 2018.
Yes.
Okay, and where's that?
That's kind of close to Waco.
Oh, Waco. Okay,
yes.
So it's still Texas.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you're paralegal?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I mean, I'm not sure how we can basically prove that he is behind this. Is he in the police department or what does he do for a living?
I'm not sure, but I mean, I've had a hard time getting anything addressed because you could prove that 60 something reports aren't getting investigated.
Right, and have all the reports been for DART or just the first couple were for DART and then the rest were just
they're all
against
over,
him?
all over. But if I don't think that it would be that difficult to prove, why would they come and push me and shove me and prevent me from getting protection orders?
Okay, all right. So
and what is the excuse for them not deny me the right to do 60 something reports?
Right. So, I mean, technically that would be a civil case. It wouldn't be a family case because you're wanting to sue DART or you're wanting to...
I'm trying to get a protection order from the stalker that I believe is enlisting the government to contribute to his abuse.
For him. Okay. And then you said you had trouble with your daughter. What happened there?
She witnessed my false arrest, screaming in terror, and out of corruption. They took my child custody rights away. They can't get their story straight on that.
Okay, so they took your custody away.
Right. They don't know if they took it away, it changes.
Okay. So how did you find out that they took the custody away? Did they just come and take her from your possession? Or? No,
in the false arrest, the stepmom had her. She has a history of abuse. The dad has a impairment because he had a stroke. Okay. So her stepmom is kind of running things. Okay. But anyway, to make a long story short, she witnessed the false arrest and multiple parties. I believe I'm targeted. Multiple parties are scheming to sabotage my rights as a parent out of corruption, which can easily be proven. They denied me my right to an attorney and denied my right to go to court multiple times. Okay, but there was a case open. I have no clue what's going on. Oh, you're not sure? Yeah, if you can tell me who the custodial parent is, I'd be grateful. They say that my rights were terminated, but they have me paying child support, so I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, and who told you this? Was it the court. Attorney General? The court, but they can't get their story straight. They said it did. Yeah, they said. Was it Dallas County? It was the George Allen 255th District Court.
Okay, yeah, that is Dallas County. Okay, so you have a custody case in Dallas County, but you're not sure, you don't have the case number, you don't have any pleadings, no documents, they didn't give you any.
I do have a case number.
Okay, what's the case number? Because we can check.
DF 9701124.
Okay, so you do have a case in Dallas County for custody or for your child. And there's just one child and she's 12 years old, right?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so I can go upstairs and check and see what's going on with that case, if there was already a trial, if, who filed it, against who, and what has been filed in it, so we can kind of see what the status of that case is. So they didn't provide you with like a final order where it states who has custodial.
They can't, once again, it's crimes being committed.
Okay.
The whole court can't get their story straight.
Okay, they just kind of tell you different things every time.
Right. So I want to reiterate, it's corruption. Do you have like attorneys here, like civil attorneys for a lawsuit? Okay.
We have civil attorneys, we have criminal attorneys. However, the criminal attorney, I don't think she would be able to help you because she's a criminal defense attorney, so she represents people who have been charged with something.
Okay.
Right, so we could refer you to the civil department and they could kind of figure out how to open up an investigation or sue either Dallas County or the district clerk, whatever.
It's all over. This would probably be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit if someone would take on. Yes.
Okay, so let me go ahead and check on this case and see kind of what's going on with this case and see if we can help or if we can intervene with that. And this would actually be
if I'm paying you, is there a particular reason why you would not know if you could help?
Well, the consultation is free, but I can go up there and check and see.
Yeah, because I've been denied services. That's part of the abuse too, and I don't understand why so many parties are confused on if they could help and
if they can help.
I'm paying them.
Yeah, I mean, if you retain us, we can definitely intervene with this case and we can kind of call the court and be like, what's going on? Can we have a copy of the order? So that's the only thing, that if we don't represent you, we don't have access to those documents. So once we get assigned to be your attorneys of record, then we can access all the documents, all the transcripts from hearings that have happened, or if no hearings have happened, we'll just call and ask why there hasn't been any hearings. So let me go ahead upstairs and see the case details, just to see what the timeline of the case has been, to see if we can help. Okay, and I'll be right back.
Okay, can I use, where's the bathroom?
Yeah, the bathroom is back here.
Okay, thank you.
It's again opened back in 1997.
Yeah, that was for my older son.
Okay, so you had another son with the same person.
Yes.
Okay, all right. We were so confused because we were like, wait, the child is 12? Okay, so we don't have a lot of experience with cases that go back to 1997.
It's not a 1997 case.
It's just the new case with the child. Okay, all right. So the attorney gave me the number to this attorney. His name is Vincent Carrizales.
Sorry.
I don't know if you want to go ahead and look him up or call him.
Are you trying to deny me services here?
Well, the attorney just saw a lot that's going on in the case, and so she doesn't feel comfortable taking on the case because she doesn't feel like she has enough experience to represent you.
This is a big firm, and I have been trying to get legal advocacy when the police weren't interrupting at legal aids.
And we can help you with the civil case. So that we can go ahead and set up a consultation for you to talk to the civil department. But this is regarding just.
Well, what did you see? Can you find out what's going on with my daughter?
Yeah, so we saw a lot that's going on.
Well, I'll just ask that you left to go see if my child custody rights were terminated. That's what you left, and people are committing crimes and don't want me to know that.
Right, so we can't access the documents because we're not the attorney of records. You have to request the. You just left to go see, because what I appreciate this, because I'm trying to establish a pattern of a big conspiracy of people that are trying to sabotage my rights as a parent. Him and a child custody agreement is a felony. Okay. So I don't understand why I have went to multiple attorneys and they play games and don't want me to know who the legal custodial parent is along with the court. The thing is, it doesn't tell us. If we go to, you can check on Dallas County what we saw right now. So if you go to Dallas County, you can look up the case.
Can you call them and see if they'll tell you? Because they won't tell me.
Well, we can't because we don't represent you, and we're not part of the case. We're not
Okay,
the
so
attorneys of
I asked
records.
you for the family law for my
Right.
child custody rights if you can find out who the legal custodial parent is.
Right, and
If
we
it's
can't
so,
find that out because it doesn't tell us that on the portal of Dallas
is
County.
that odd?
No, because usually Dallas County portals they don't tell you what is inside the documents.
So
They'll
why
just
would you
tell
go look
you.
at it? Why would you go look to see who the legal custodial parent is?
Oh, we didn't look up to see who the legal custodian parent is.
So I
We
asked you to
looked
find
up.
out.
Right, but we can't do that because we're not on the case. The only thing we can look is the timeline of the case. What has happened, what hearings have happened, if there's been a trial, but we
Okay, I
can't
thought you
see.
just left to go see who the legal custodial parent is, and then you told me that something about my
No.
it's a case back to '97. I thought I just requested for you to look.
Right, but the case number you gave me, that one goes back to 97. This case number has stayed the same, I'm guessing, since 97 with your old child and with your new child.
Yes.
Okay, so we went to look at the timeline to see when it was filed, who it was filed by, and what hearings have happened. Okay, so we saw that
So you saying the attorney
97.
doesn't feel comfortable with representing me, with me paying her to not have my rights violated as a parent, knowing that I just told you that there's criminal activity? Why would she not feel
Well,
comfortable?
there's a lot going on in the case, so I think that's why she doesn't feel comfortable because there's a lot of unknowns that are going on in the
Criminal
case.
crimes?
So we don't do criminal. Though.
No,
We do a family.
that's odd
law.
to come to a family law firm. The other one I went to play for games, and to come to a family law firm and for her to look at the case and then say she don't feel comfortable. People haven't felt comfortable for years, and I'm trying to get to the bottom
Right.
of why attorneys are denying these services. Used to be the police would intervene in legal. Now attorneys are denying these services. Not a very many came up on my phone.
Okay, but well, it's up to the attorney to take the case.
Why would she
right?
deny it? Why would she deny me, a person that's going through all this? Why would attorneys deny me to the representation? It doesn't make sense.
I think it's just because the case is so old.
It's
and
not
there's
old.
been
My daughter's
a lot
12.
going on. Right, but it's the same case number. So if we have to reopen
Okay,
the
that
case,
doesn't make
that's
sense at all, ma'am. Okay, so what kind of information can I be given with the crimes happening? You're a paralegal, and I'm sure that you probably don't want to waste my time by her denying me representation for whatever reason that is. So, what can you give me recommendations by me not being able to allow to go to court? Is that legal in the state of Texas? If my rights were shackled?
That's not legal, but we can't look into that because you would technically have to go through the Dallas bar or the Texas bar to report like malpractice by his attorney. If his attorney was the one who filed the petition, you could report him. You could put the attorney and be like, this attorney didn't notify me of this hearing, this attorney didn't serve me the proper way, we think this is malpractice, and they can look into it. So you can call the Dallas bar or the Texas Bar Association, and they could open a investigation against the attorney or against the judge if you think the judge is corrupt as well.
Okay,
But
is it legal in the state of Texas to make a person that's indigent represent themselves if child custody rights are at stake?
yeah, you can represent yourself. It's up to you.
Force.
No, it's not. It's your decision.
Okay, if
So
I
you
ask
can.
for legal representation and I'm indigent and they deny me of that, is that legal in the state of Texas if my child custody rights are at stake?
So you would have to look for an attorney that's pro bono if you're not able to.
I don't think. My question is, in the state of Texas,
Right.
if you are indigent and you ask for legal representation.
That's for a criminal case. That's not for family. So
Okay.
in family court, you have the option to retain counsel or to represent yourself. So be pro se. And it looks like from the looks of it, there was no attorney ever representing you. So you've always been pro se. Okay, so we think Vincent Carazales will be able to take your case because he takes on cases that have a lot going on with a lot of different moving parts. And so that's why the attorney wants to refer you to Vincent Carazales because we think he might be able to help.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand. I went over the false arrest, all of the corruption, and all the chaos. And you guys basically are denying me any kind of service and referring me to someone else because it's been happening years. So I'm trying to make sure that I have clarity because I just go from one place to place to place. For an abuser that I'm trying to get a protection order, we didn't discuss that. It's a game for him. But it's impossible for me to get anything done if the government is going to abuse their power and entice every business I go into to railroad me and keep me from getting anything accomplished to get away from him and their abuse.
Okay.
So this is a big law firm. You have
Right.
multiple buildings and multiple attorneys in here, I can see. Not one, we didn't discuss the protection order.
Okay, so the protection order, that would be part of you would have to file that a motion for a protection order, but you said you're not able to.
Okay,
right?
I
So you
came in
want
here,
to-
there's a disconnect. Okay, I'm trying to also establish a pattern. I came in here to get get assistance from an attorney to get a protection order.
Right,
If
and
this
that's for
man is
domestic violence, but you said there's no domestic violence. That would be a
Foster-
protection order for family law. If
If
there's
he set
domestic
up multiple
violence.
false arrests and the problem with the court that your attorney is not wanting to give me representation for,
Right,
that
so
I can't get protected from that, him enlisting from the police?
you can get a protection order from the police department because it includes basically
You're the
stalking.
attorney. I'm trying to pay to get a protection. What my appointment today is for, a protection order.
Right, but so I'm in the family law department. But if you're trying to get all this other taken care of, this
I
is
came
civil.
here to get a protection order, and people have been playing games. Like I told you, they removed me in multiple buildings. I came here for legal representation to get assistance from your law firm and pay you to assist me with the protection order.
Okay.
That's what I came here for.
All right, so you just want to discuss the protection order. That's it.
I did. I thought I made that clear, but I have a lot. As I told you initially when I came in here, I have a lot going on.
Okay.
So I don't know where to move forward and how you can assist me when the government is involved in the abuse as well.
Okay, all right. So let me get the attorney to just come down here and talk to you because I'm not really understanding what. Right, because I mean we're referring you to somebody who we think that can help you.
That's for
with all
family
your
law,
case.
but you didn't mention the protection order, and this, I'm not quite sure why you would deny me service and have to refer me to someone else, like every agency and organization that I've been to that has been a scheme for the abuse I experienced. They refer me to other people, and it's a revolving door of never getting services for years. So I'm not quite sure why I came here, went over this, I had a hard time getting anyone to assist me with getting a protection order. Then finally I got you guys, and you're denying me services basically.
Okay.
Because I'm paying you, it would be pro bono, and you're denying me the right for the family law situation and giving me representation for the protection order as well. And that's why I came here.
Right, so the attorney is the one that decides whether they want to take a case or not. We're not saying we're prohibiting you from.
I just think that I think the issue that you're not understanding, I'm not getting clarity. Did you hear all the chaos I was going through?
Right, and I explained that to the attorney.
So don't you think that that's suspicious that I can't get the representation?
Well, the attorney just doesn't feel comfortable taking the case. That doesn't mean that she's part of a conspiracy from the government.
Well, why has no one been comfortable taking my funds, me paying them for years?
Well, because it's a complicated case.
Because
it's
crimes
very
are
difficult to, prove things. You don't have concrete evidence. You don't have.
Well, I think the evidence of 60-something reports and getting arrested and detained on camera footage, and then them interrupting me doing protection orders at 2 different locations, putting me in isolation on camera footage, internal affairs, putting me out for trying to report I'm targeted. Okay. If someone would actually give me legal representation, I think that is a lot of evidence. How do you explain 60-something reports and the domestic violence organizations won't help me, or attorneys I'm trying to pay as well, which is odd. So I think someone is sabotaging every experience I'm in, and I'm trying to establish that pattern. Okay. So let's see why you guys are denying me services, like every other attorney that I've tried to get assistance with.
All right, so let me just get the attorney down here because we're not getting anywhere. So give me one second.
Yeah, we didn't. It was a protection order. Yeah,
right, but I explained to you. And
I told you they've made me leave pushing and shoving.
Right, but we don't have enough for a protection order at this time.
Well, I didn't think that you were. I thought that attorney would give me the representation. Your story. First off, you were going to get an attorney. Now you don't have enough for a protection order. Then you say we can do one against the police. It's like all over the place. Like you don't want me to get assistance.
Okay, all right. Give me 1 second.
Fine.
My name is Sydney. I'm one of the family attorneys. Gabby was telling me a little bit about your case, and although it seems like you may have a case on your hands, that's what I told her when she came upstairs.
This is for the protection order?
Yes, we just don't have the availability to take on a new client right now.
Huh? Well, okay, hold on. Then she said something about I can do a protection order against the police. Are you guys scheming to deny me services? Because that's what my abuser has been doing.
No.
Because I talked to someone on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and they set me up a consultation.
Okay.
It's odd for you to come in here and say that you don't have the ability to take. Why would you schedule a consultation?
Well, the paralegals just schedule consultations, and then once we hear anything about the case, depending on the facts and stuff, we decide whether or not we can take on the case. I think
that maybe something inappropriate is going on because I was removed at 2 different locations trying to get a protection order, and I told her that. And the domestic violence, domestic violence and child abuse division has been playing games, keeping me from protection orders. I told her the police came and interrupted me and domestic violence organizations from getting advocacy, and now I'm trying to pay an attorney, and you're denying me services as well to get a protection order.
I'm sorry that you've been going through all that. I don't know anything about any conspiracy.
Well, what can I do?
Don't connect.
Okay, well, what can I do since I came all the way
each
here? What can I do to get representation for a protection order with all this stuff going on?
Like the paralegal gave us, she gave you another family attorney's name.
But I came here.
Right, and we are referring you to someone else because we are not able to take on your case at this time.
Okay, so I'm just trying to establish a bad pattern that I think no one would ever believe it. I definitely do believe that's a conspiracy. I think someone gets a kick out of having me spend my wills, and they have the power to abuse. I don't believe you. I think that someone is interrupted and you guys are conspiring to violating my civil rights. Conspiracy to violate civil rights is a crime. I'm trying to pay you to take on the case. You denied the family situation, the family law situation with my child custody rights. Then she left to go get the information from my child custody rights and did not come back with it. And now you're denying a protection order. You're denying 2 different areas of law, the representation that you can give me. And this is a reoccurring pattern for me.
I'm going to be clear with you. There's no violation of your civil rights. To be a violation of your civil rights, we have to be federal employees. She didn't hear.
We are not federal employees. The right to go to court.
We're not going to discuss this anymore. We will refer you to someone else, but at this time, we can't help you.
It would be hard for me to give you the information that you needed. I was not the right to go to court. Have you ever heard that as an attorney?
Denied the right to go to court? No.
Okay, so that's why I needed legal representation because on these false arrests, they're so corrupt, they don't even let me go to court. There are 60-something records that aren't getting investigated, reports, which show that I get harassed and violated. But what I don't understand is when I try to go get representation, why are the representations I'm trying to play games and deny me from paying them to get represented?
I can't speak for the other attorneys. All I can say is at this time we can't take your case.
Okay, it's a pattern, ma'am. Thank you.
You're very welcome.